Hi, I'm Alexis Marsh.
And I'm Sam Jones.
And we write the music for Animal Kingdom on TNT.
We're going to be discussing one of the climactic heist scenes from season 4, where the Codys are stealing a large sculpture off the back of a truck.
So we're just starting a little intro of sort of dark moodiness with this distorted guitar that sets up an energy and also sets up a motif that we can repeat. Similarly to how we're watching each of the characters set up their place for the heist, we're also doing the same thing with the music, adding one element at a time as the plan kind of unfolds.
Part of the challenge of scoring these big heist scenes is we always need to be aware of whether we're matching or enhancing the surprise and excitement of the action or detracting from it.
And right away, we knew we wanted to set up an energy of kind of suspense and energy that usual Animal Kingdom thing, but also that this is fun, that we're really sort of showing how good they are at what they do.
We're trying to achieve that here by setting up these phrases of kind of rock and roll energy and then jarring them out of place with beat dropouts or strange bursts of noise or backwards guitar phrases. Never letting one element or groove take over for too long without suddenly either changing to something more intense or dropping it out completely.
So one thing that we try to do when we're mapping out one of these really long cues where we have to sustain energy and momentum is try to find some cuts that we think we could line up that sort of help anchor us into where we need to go. And we want them to typically be in pretty even phrases so that the music, the melodic contours of things line up with things. There's a little bit more satisfaction when we can do that.
Big part of the sound of this cue is these natural harmonics on the guitar. When you really dig in aggressively with them, you get these wild metallic overtones, an almost percussive sound. We always try to find these ways of making a familiar sounding instrument sound still familiar but a bit crazier and edgier and more unpredictable.
So now we brought down the energies so that we can make room for dialogue, and we're pulling up sort of tension here as we have this like tonal swell going up. Feels like a little bit of an alarm, a little bit of a siren kind of feel. As they're into the next phase of the plan, pulling out the guns, getting a little bit more violent, the score can also get a little bit more rough, a little bit more intense.
We're really trying to get the most out of our fuzz pedals here. Switching up the guitar tone every few bars to get more and more aggressive, jarring, keep the tension tight. In a scene this long and complex, rather than just trying to jack up the intensity with more and more layers of more noisy sounds, we'll try and figure out what textural or tonal shift can make the most dramatic difference from section to section and keep us feeling like things are progressing.
The intro of this bass line marks also the next phase of their plan. They've got the sculpture. Now they've got to get it out of there and make sure the security is sort of held at bay. Brought down the percussion again for the dialogue, bringing in a really kind of like more intense TikTok-y kind of sound as they get everything together. They're moving quickly, but they're really moving efficiently.
And here we have the climactic getaway portion of the heist. We've gone down to the simplest possible tension device of the snare roll and hammering repeated notes on this repeated riff figure. So as the Codys rush to finish the job and the security guards figure out what's happening, we'll have room to grow and ratchet up the energy and suspense with more and more intensity. And rather than letting up here, we're going to step on the gas even harder and try to really push the momentum into the end of the scene with this syncopated percussion hit. And again, the natural harmonics on the guitar to give that rough metallic edge.
But the feeling is really that they're going to be fine, that they've done it, they've planned all of the things, and they've accounted for the security guards sort of getting wise to what's going on and how they respond to that. It's always so fun to see how the Codys just work together to anticipate how things could go wrong and what their sort of plan is to avoid that. So we've brought down, the drums are gone, they're safe, they have the sculpture, going down with just that guitar motif, taking out one element at a time, the way we brought it in.